When I was growing up in school, we did a lot of nature trails and bug hunts. And when we did, the golden trophy of animals to find was always the frog. And I always felt a bit bad for the toad and felt that it was a bit underappreciated. So for that very reason, I'm dedicating this video to toads and showing you how to find them. And the nose is sticking out. In Britain, there are two native species of toad, the common toad and the natterjack toad. Now, natterjacks are quite a rare species that can only be found in select areas across Britain, and I'd rather make their own separate video for this species, so I'm not going to be looking for them today. And on top of this, we've also got some non-native species, such as the midwife toad, which arrived here from mainland Europe. But again, I think it's best I talk about them in their own separate video. So today, I'm only going to be looking for the common toad. And to help me out, I've come to this wetland marsh where I know there are toads because I've seen loads here before. The best time to look for any amphibian is after it's just been raining, because this is when they decide to come out of the water and have a bit of a look around. And when it stops raining and the sun comes out, they hide away under logs and rocks like this one, and this is the best place to look. The best time of year to look for toads is in spring during the mating season, and conveniently, I was looking in autumn, and after a few hours I wasn't having much luck, but I did have a plan B. Not too far from where I was looking, there was a grass field that I'd put some reptile sheets in a few months before to help me look for some grass snakes, and more often than not, there were common toads underneath these sheets that were trying to keep themselves dry. In my hands is a common toad. But how do I know it's a toad and not a frog? Well, there are two major differences really. One is their skin. You see, frogs have quite smooth skin, whereas toads have quite rough, warty skin. And secondly is their eyes. Frogs tend to have quite large, bulbous eyes, whereas toads have more of a slit-shaped eye. Frogs do a lot more hopping than toads do. As you can see, he's doing a lot of crawling to move around. And you'll also notice that I'm wearing gloves. And that's not because I'm going to do something disgusting with this toad. Complete opposite actually. It's because I don't want to hurt him. You see, amphibians can absorb a lot of things through their skin. And some of this stuff can be quite harmful. Especially the chemicals and natural oils in our hands. It can burn them quite badly and really damage their skin. So to stop this, I'm wearing some gloves. And if you do have to move an amphibian for whatever reason, it's best that you wear gloves as well. If you've recently washed your hands, you should be okay for a couple of minutes. Because toads don't do as much breathing through their skin, and they have quite rough skin, this means that they can spend longer periods outside of water than frogs can. I don't even know where this guy would have come from. I don't even know if there's a water source nearby. So I suspect that last night it might have been raining, and there's a lot of humidity in the air. So he's come out for a wander. He's hidden under this mat here. Probably wasn't expecting to see me today. And now he's just waiting it out until it rains again. Common toads can be found throughout Europe and even into Russia, with their main threats being habitat loss. And although the myth of them being able to give you warts just by touching them isn't exactly true, they do have low levels of a poison on their skin known as bufotoxin, which is actually the same toxin that's found in much larger quantities on cane toads, which have been known to kill various animals, including humans. Unfortunately, amphibians are considered to be some of the most threatened animals on the planet. And when you remember that even the natural oils and chemicals from our hands can be toxic for them, and then when you think about all of the pollutants that we're throwing into our waterways and river systems, it's really not much of a surprise. And people have this opinion about amphibians where they're a bit creepy and a lot of people are a bit squeamish about them, which I can understand. They are a bit strange. But I think this is even more reason why we should be encouraging people to go out and look for them because they're so unique and amazing. So I highly recommend that if you get the opportunity, go out and have a look for these guys because they're absolutely incredible.